Okay, we are live today. Today I am by myself. Tom is not here. He's out in New York. If he chooses to join us, we had sent him the link to join us today. But today we have Jeff from eBay Addicts. Welcome to the show, Jeff.
Hey, thank you for having me today. I appreciate you.
I really, truly appreciate that you decided to join us. I really appreciate that. Jeff, I would like for you to introduce yourself to the members who are watching our channel.
Yeah, my name is Jeff. I am a reseller. I resell on mainly eBay. I'm a YouTuber. I have a small YouTube channel, and also I have my regular job. I work as a courier. So those are my main three things that I do. I work my regular courier gig nights and weekends and holidays. I shoot YouTube videos probably 4 to 5 days a week on YouTube. I have a smallish YouTube channel. I think I'm getting close to 5,000 subscribers. I'm about 4,800 right now, and my goal is to hit 5,000 by the end of the year. And then I have an eBay store, and right now I think I have about 6,500 items in my main eBay store, and I'm trying to grow it and scale it to 10,000 items. So it's one of those things where I go out hunting for looking for inventory for my eBay store, and then you box it up, ship it, and sell it. Like for example, just yesterday, I picked this up at clearance at Walmart. You guys can see the little clearance sticker. And I picked this up yesterday at Walmart for $2. And I'm going to flip it and sell this PS4 video game on eBay for $20. And I paid $2 for it. So that's kind of the name of the game. You're just going to go around and look for items that you can buy low and sell for a higher price,
Yeah. Would you say that you mostly do retail arbitrage?
Just wherever I can find deals at. Like for example,
Okay.
I was at the thrift store the other day, and today's title of their show is just about networking and just talking to people and communicating. And I was at the thrift store and I found these games. I don't know if you guys can see, these games are all Nintendo Wii video games. So the whole name of the game when you're in the resale business, everybody thinks it's all about you're finding an item for $2 and you're flipping it and selling it for $20. In reality, the back door is really all about you building up relationships with people, right? So I find these games, they're all sitting on the shelf. Like this one here is a Transformer game. This one is Star Wars Lego. This one here is Lego Harry Potter, right? This one is Lego Batman, right? So I find these whole stack of games and I take them up to the counter and I just start talking to the cashier that works there at the thrift store. I say, hey, how you doing? How is your day going? And the whole idea is you're trying to build up a relationship with this guy. So we're chit-chatting and talking, and would you know it, by the time I checked out of here, I said, hey, I happen to find these video games sitting here on this on this bookshelf that I can't find a price tag on them. What are you guys asking for them? And he just rings them up and charges me 50 cents a piece for them. He didn't ask any questions. He didn't say, hey, let me go look these up for you. He didn't say, he didn't ask me 99 questions, but it was because we built up a rapport and we built up a relationship with this guy. He was just like, oh, well, no big deal. He just typed it in 50 cents times 6 video games. And now he's selling me these video games for 50 cents a piece. And now I'm able to go home and turn around and resell them for 10, 15, 20, $30 a piece, whatever they sell for on eBay. And if I would have went up there and just would have been, put my head down and be like, hey, hurry up and ring me up. If I wouldn't have built up that rapport and that relationship with that guy, there's no way he would have sold me those video games for 50 cents a piece. So that's why I tell you guys all the time, it's not just about, the treasure hunt of you going and finding an item for $5 and selling it for $50. It's about building up these relationships over a longer period of time. Because it's a good chance next time you go into that thrift store or next time I'm at, Walmart or whatever, there's a good chance I'm going to run into this person again. So, I mean, that's just an example, like, going to Walmart, clearance, going to the thrift store, going to a pawn shop, going to the Dollar Tree, just going around and wherever you go, just be nice. Just talk to people. Just say, hey, how are you? How was your day going? What's your name? It doesn't take but two minutes out of your day to just be nice to people. And then as you're doing this and as you're building up this rapport, next time you walk in, they're going to be like, oh, hey, Esteban, how are you? How was your day? And so when they greet you when you walk in, they'll be like, oh yeah, I remember you from last week. Oh yeah, hey, you know, you like video games? We just got some in the back room, but we haven't even put out yet. You want to come by and check them out? Because
Yeah.
now they're your buddy. You know, people want to do business with people who they like, who they respect, and who they trust.
That's right.
You ever had your car break down and you're like, man, I could take my car to the dealership here at the Chevrolet dealership, or I have an uncle that fixes cars and I've known my uncle for 20 years. I'm going to send my car to my uncle and he'll take care of it for me.
Yeah.
So that's the way it works in the real world. It's not all about, you know, X's and O's and dollars and cents. It's about building up that relationship with people, you know?
Yeah. Two things. I feel like when it comes to networking, what you're creating is a competitive advantage. Am I right?
Yeah, that's kind of what you want to do. You want to give yourself a home field advantage. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like if, let's say you go to a thrift store and the manager is the one that's reaching out to you to let you know that you have something they have something in the back room, you're the only one that had that advantage, only because you spoke up and you went out of your way to get to know the manager and build that network, that connection with that person.
Well, that's kind of what this whole business is all about, is building relationships up with people. I mean, that's what I'm telling you. It's not all about dollars and cents and X's and O's. Everybody thinks that it's like, you know, everybody thinks it's like when you're on a basketball team and the coach is drawing up these X's and O's and what defensive zones to play and all that. That's great in theory, but in reality, it's about, you know, you actually building up these relationships, right? That's how we ended up meeting was through the internet, right? So it's
That's
just
correct.
about you building up the relationships. And so the way that I ended up meeting you guys and Tom was somebody else referred me and was like, hey, you need to go by and check out this place called Resell America in Lakeland. I'm like, hey, that's cool. That's 20, 30 minutes away from my house. Let me swing by and check it out. And the first thing I did when I went in there is walked in and introduced myself to Tom. I was like, hey, Tom, how are you doing? My name is Jeff. Nice to meet you. And every time I went in there, I would walk in there and shake his hand, introduce myself, and we would talk every time I walked in there. Just like every time I run into you, we would talk or text or email back and forth. And this whole thing is all about, like I said, it's all about building relationships, whether you're a reseller, whether you're a YouTuber, whether you're a real estate agent, you know, that's all about building relationships, right? So it's like, if you wanted to go sell your house, and you could say, hey, I could sell my house and list it with Susie Q, who's somebody you have never met before, and sell my $300,000 house with them. Or I can say, hey, you know, my cousin just became a real estate agent. Let's go work with them. Because it's people who you like, know, and trust, you know? So that's what it's all about. But yeah, man, I mean, I've had that happen before where I would go to a pawn shop and they would say, hey, for example, I'll pick up DVDs like this, for example, at pawn shops for 50 cents a piece and turn around and resell them on eBay for, you know, $20, right? You know, 10, 15, $20, whatever they sell for. So I would go into this pawn shop and then they would say, hey, Jeff, hey, you're looking for DVDs. We have a whole bunch of DVDs that we haven't even put out yet to the general public. And then when you walk in, they're pulled out 2 big boxes of merchandise that haven't even put out on the floor yet. So it's like you got first dibs of looking through this merchandise, all because you built up that relationship. Now, if you would have just walked in there with a bad with a bad hair day and was in a bad mood and was kind of looking down at the ground and keeping to yourself, you would never have been able to build up that connection with that person. But because you've shown up there and you showed up there over and over and over again, you're starting to build up a rapport and build up a relationship with people. It helps you build and scale your business and helps you grow professionally as well. Because maybe down the road, you guys may not have nothing that I want, or maybe we didn't get to do business today, but it doesn't mean 6 months down the road that we won't have some type of business that we could collaborate with together in the future. So it's just about being nice to people and, you know, talking to the head honchos, the decision makers, or the people that you know, that call the shots, you know?
Yeah. So, Jeff, you have a YouTube channel and you've been quite successful. You said you have almost 5,000 people or 5,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
Now, tell me, how do you utilize YouTube as a way to network? Can you tell me more about that?
Mm, yeah, man. Well, with most YouTubers, with people like me, what I do is going out hunting for merchandise. You have a choice. You can either take your platform of YouTube, and I could go around and film myself, at thrift stores and yard sales and doing retail arbitrage, and I could go film myself and make the whole video about me. But I make it about the community. So every week, usually I'll have at least 3 or 4 new guests on every week, and I just use my YouTube platform to help elevate other people in the community. So, like for example, tomorrow we have a guy on from he lives in Orlando, and he used to be a gym teacher, and he was actually featured on the Dave Ramsey show. So believe it or not, I heard him call into the Dave Ramsey show, and him and his wife, he paid off his house. So he got out of debt. He paid off his house. It was a $300,000 house. He got his house paid off, and he started working as a side hustle selling stuff on eBay, right? And so over a period of 6, 7 years later, he started making more money reselling on eBay than what he was making as his full-time job as a gym teacher. And he got to the point where he was making $120,000 a year part-time. And I think out of that, maybe 70, 80,000 of that might have been profit. But anyways, he more than doubled what his teacher salary was, just by reselling part-time while still working his full-time job. And then as he got his car paid off, as he got his credit cards paid off, as he eventually got his $300,000 house paid off, now he got to the point where he was like, hey, I don't need to work my job as a school teacher anymore. And so he was able to put his 2 weeks notice in this past year. He quit his job as a full-time school teacher, and now he's a full-time reseller, and he gets to be his own boss and make up his own work schedule, and he just goes out and has fun and hunts for merchandise to resell on eBay, and that's his full-time gig. But it didn't start off that way. But it's just being able to tell stories, being able to push other people, being able to educate and inspire and motivate other people. I try to help people wherever you are right now, whatever age or relationship or ethnic group, whoever you are. And even if you don't know nothing about what you're doing, we take people from zero and we try to help scale them and to grow their business so they can make $100,000 a year. And not just hear it from me, but hear it from guests from all across the country, people who are doing it themselves and saying, hey, this is what I did. This is my story. This is how I got started. This is how I grew my business. I have another guest scheduled this week on Friday, and he lives in Canada. And last month, for example, he did $20,000 last month selling on eBay full time.
Wow.
But he didn't always used to be an eBay seller. I think he used to be an insurance salesman. And I guess he wanted to get out of this 9 to 5 grind of instead of working his 9 to 5 grind and being on the road all the time. He wanted to spend more time with his family, and now he's doing $20,000 a month selling on eBay full time. So just being able to give people exposure, letting people tell their stories. They give tips and tricks, advice of how they grew their business from nothing. We had this guy on Friday last week, and his name was John from Side Hustle Experiment, and he was telling about his story of how he was working as a copywriter. And his boss promised him at the end of the year he was going to get this big raise and this big promotion, right? So at the end of the year came, he was promised this big raise, this big promotion, and they didn't give it to him. They said, oh, something happened. The economy was bad. Sales are bad. We can't give you this big raise and this promotion, right? So he started reselling furniture on the side. He bought this. He bought this table and chairs. He started buying furniture. I think he spent $10 on this furniture and turned around and resold it for $50. And he just started doing this little side business. And over a period of the next 6 months or a year, he was able to quit his full-time job as a copywriter, and he grew his business from scratch. So now he has a warehouse, he has employees, and he does over 6 figures a year reselling books on Amazon. That's his main niche, is selling books and media. And so, like I said, it's just important that you reach out and connect with people. And he lives up in Pennsylvania. Like I said, the next guest I have on tomorrow, he lives in Orlando. I've never met the guy, but just so happened I heard his story on the Dave Ramsey show, and I reached out to him on Instagram and said, hey, man, you don't know me, but my name is Jeff. I live in Tampa. How are you? How is your weekend going? How is your day going? And we just built up a relationship, and I was like, hey, would you be interested in being a guest on my YouTube channel, next week on Tuesday? And he said, sure, right after Halloween is over, he's going to come on, and I'm going to give him his opportunity to tell his story of, like I said, how he used reselling to get out of debt, paid his car off, paid his house off. Think about it. You have a $300,000 house and it's completely paid off. You have no mortgage payments or rent payments the rest of your life, all because he started reselling on the side on eBay. And he was able to quit his job and spend more time with his wife and three kids, all through reselling. And now he gets to be his own boss and make his own work schedule. And like I said, he was a guest on the Dave Ramsey show, and tomorrow he's going to be a guest on my channel. So it's just great being able to network and talk to new people and meet new people and learn new things.
Absolutely. I am always a person who I fashion myself as a learner. I'm always educating myself in the field that I'm currently in, and you know me, my background is on eBay, and so I educated myself thoroughly when it comes to eBay. Now,
Right.
Do you think that I am 100% knowledgeable in all things eBay? And I'm going to ask you the same question. Are you 100% knowledgeable in all things eBay?
I'll tell you one thing, eBay sellers know 90% more than the actual executives do that work for the actual eBay company. I'll tell you that much, because I went to some of these executive meetups where I met up with corporate executives from eBay that they flew in from California, and we knew way more about the eBay platform than they did. But I don't know everything 100%. But like I said, when you build up a network of people, if I have an issue with customer returns, maybe I had an issue with shipping problems, I can reach out to people, and they're within a phone call away, or I hit them up on Instagram saying, hey, I'm having XYZ issue. Are you having a similar issue? So, I know a lot about eBay, but now I'm just going to I've been trying to learn as much as I can about maybe, selling on Amazon as well, which I haven't even got started selling on Amazon yet. But, so now that's going to be a learning curve trying to learn that. So I'm not going to say I know everything 100% about it, but I'd probably know 95% of it, because they keep every year, they have a spring and a fall seller update, and they keep changing and updating things every 6 months. So now eBay just rolled out the fall seller update, and they have this new pay-per-click promotion that they're doing. They have promoted listings that they're doing. They're always changing things. It's just like how laws change every year with, the government. So you want to stay ahead of the curve and learn as much as you can about the niche or the business that you're in,
Absolutely. And I'm glad you said it the way you said it, because that's where I was going. What I was saying is that even though we know a lot about eBay, we don't know everything. And when it comes to reselling in general.
Right.
So by networking, we have that resource where we can lean on someone else when we don't have the answers, when we don't know the answers, or even how do you approach this situation in this scenario versus this way? For example, you just said that you're going to be interviewing someone from Canada. We don't know all the things how an eBay store is run in Canada. I'm sure it's way different from it is in the US. So maybe we can pick up a couple of pointers from sellers in Canada that we could utilize for the US. So by networking, we have that source to lean on when we have the questions that we cannot answer.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's important to have that. And also, you may do business with people in the future. I've had people that were guests on my YouTube channel in the past, and they would just reach out to me out of the blue on Instagram and say, hey, I have a whole box of this merchandise that's brand new in the shrink wrap. I want to sell it for a good price. Are you interested? And, I'm the first person that came to their mind. And even though they lived on the other side of the country, I was the first person they called out of the blue and was like, hey, man, I need to offload this merchandise. It's good merchandise. It's stuff. It's still brand new in the shrink wrap. You can flip it and make a nice profit. Are you interested? And they sold me a whole big box of merchandise for like $50, including shipping, straight to my door. And that opportunity, whenever it presented itself, had I not made that connection with that person. So, but yeah, it's important to kind of network and build relationships up with people. They say that, your network is your net worth. You ever heard of that before?
I've heard it.
The more the more that you can reach out to people and you kind of get out of your comfort zone a little bit, it's going to provide dividends for you in the future. You don't realize it, but maybe somewhere down the road, you're going to encounter something. Maybe at the time, let's say Esteban is the mechanic and I'm a YouTuber, right? And so maybe right then we don't need any business. We don't need to do any business together right then. But maybe 6 months down the road, Esteban maybe gave me his business card, or maybe we built up a relationship, and I say, hey, Esteban, my car is broke down. Can you help me fix my car? And so now maybe 6 months later, I called him up out of the blue. He's able to fix my car up, and then maybe in return down the road, he might need something from me. So that's kind of what you want to do, is just build up relationships with people, and it's just about kind of leaving your comfort zone and just saying hello, just being nice to people. It's funny when you're a little kid. I remember when I was a little kid in church, I would always run up and we would have new people in the church, and they would be, sitting down, and everyone would have to come up to the church and shake their hands and introduce themselves. And when you were a kid, you didn't have no fear, no social anxiety of meeting new people and strangers and all that. But then somehow or another, when you got to be an adult, you just think that you're just supposed to look down at your cell phone and look at the GPS and mind your own business and be a drone, So that's all it is just networking with people, and kind of, because I'm an introverted person by nature. I'm not one of those super outgoing people. If you saw me at a gas station or saw me out in public, usually I would kind of stay to myself. But when you're going to be out in one of these business environments, like I said, if you're outsourcing, let's say you're at a pawn shop, you're at an estate sale, you're at a thrift store, you're going to be waiting in line to check out anyways. Just talk to the person. Say, hey, how are you doing? Strange weather we're having, something. Just strike up a conversation and say hello. You're going to be standing there waiting in line anyways. So you might as well just say hello and talk to those people. And like I said, I picked up a whole stack of video games for 50 cents a piece. I swear, Esteban, if I'd have been just sitting there looking down at my phone and playing some mobile game or texting on my phone, I wouldn't have got those games for 50 cents a piece, And right. Like this, for example, I picked this up at Walmart clearance for $2 a piece. You know how I found out about this? Watching other YouTubers. So I would watch other people and find what type of deals they found on clearance at their local Walmart. So when I go in there and I'm at my local Walmart, I know what items to look for. And say, hey, these particular items are marked down on clearance. I saw so-and-so in Denver pick these up for, $2 the other day. Let's see if they're on sale here, And so that's what it's kind of all about,
Yeah. First, I want to say hello to Harry Briggs. Good morning. But Jeff, I don't know if you know this, but there's going to be a new movie of Uncharted. So take a look to see if the Uncharted games are trending right now. They should be, since the movie's coming out soon.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look them up. Like I said, I just picked these up yesterday. I can't see the chat on my end, so if I don't respond to the chat, I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see it. So Good morning, Harry.
So one more thing I wanted to ask was, when it comes to you doing selling on eBay, you don't have just that source of income. You have also YouTube, where you're earning some money, but you're also selling on you're doing the delivery driver as well. Could you tell me more about that?
Yeah, well, right now I have my 5 sources of income that I have right now. If you watch my YouTube video, I have a video where I put out, I have my 5 different sources of income. So number 1 is I do my courier gig. Number 2 is eBay. Number 3 is YouTube. It's free to create a YouTube channel. All you have to do is you just create a channel, and once you get your 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, you can apply to be in the YouTube paid partnership program, and then they'll start paying you for ads that are being played either before, during, or after a video. I also have affiliate links that I'll drop below my YouTube video, and if people click on your affiliate links, I think last month I got an extra $500 bonus check just for people clicking on, affiliate links. So I do that. I get my check every month from YouTube from ad revenue, which isn't a bunch. And then, like I said, I have my eBay store. And I do my courier gig, and basically it's just I work for a local courier company in my town, and all I do is I pick up a box from point A and deliver it to point B. So like a week or so ago, before I got sick, it's all paid on commission. So every time I do a delivery job, I get paid 60%, and the courier company gets 40%. So before I got sick, I mean, my take-home paycheck for 1 week was $2,700 for 1 week. And all I'm doing is just picking up a box from point A and delivering it to point B. And basically, it's an app on your phone, and you would just text your dispatcher whenever you want to work. You're basically a taxi driver for boxes. And whenever I want to work, I contact my dispatcher on my phone and call them or text them and say I'm available for work. And then when they have work for me to do, they'll call me or text me and send me delivery jobs to do. And I drive all over the state of Florida. So they might send me a job from Tampa to Orlando, pick up a box in Orlando, and come back from Orlando back to Tampa. And excuse me, that one run may pay $100, and it may take me 3 hours to do that one run. But they may call me and say, hey, we have an Orlando run and a Melbourne run. And the Melbourne run, as you know, is on the east coast of Florida. So now we're up to maybe that run pays $165. So now I'm up $265 for, let's say, 5 hours worth of work to drive there, pick up those 2 boxes, and bring them back to Tampa and deliver them. But then sometimes they'll call you and say, hey, we've got Orlando to Melbourne. Then we have a Melbourne run needs to go to Gainesville. That may be 175, right? So now you're at 165, 175. That's what, 340 plus 100 in Orlando. Then you get up there to Gainesville, and then they might have another Gainesville run that got called in from Gainesville back to Tampa. That might be another $100 run. So now you're up to what? Let's say 340, 440. Now you're up to $540 for the day. So yeah, I mean, if you go out and hustle, you can make $400, $500, $600 a day, and all you're doing is just delivering boxes. And I just work as a 1099 independent contractor, and meaning that you pay your own gas, your own maintenance, your own repairs on your vehicle, all that.
So Tom is always talking about having multiple sources of income, and that is exactly what you're doing. We have David Brunt, who asks, what courier app is that? What vehicle do you have to have?
Just give me 1 second.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, people, if you don't believe me, I have my paycheck stub right here. This is how many deliveries I did for the week. You can see right here. So I did 22 deliveries. That's how many deliveries I did for the week. Then right here, this is what actually netted was right here at this corner. I don't know if you guys can see it. What actually netted was $2,762. That's what I brought home for the week. And then right here was how many deliveries I did for the week was 22 deliveries. So each individual city or town, whatever town you're in, they have their own individual app. And so what I did is I just went online on Craigslist, and you would go to the Craigslist section, go to the job section, and type in courier jobs in your area, and you would just would apply. And I just have I don't have a special vehicle. A couple weeks ago, I had a 2000 Toyota Camry. Recently, I just went out and bought a 2012 Jeep Compass. It's just a little 4-door, 4-cylinder SUV. It's nothing fancy. I mean, it just gets you from point A to point B. And each individual courier company is different. Some is going to pay you per hour. There's some that's going to pay you per mile. There's some that will pay you a flat rate to cover a route. But where I work at, I only get paid on commission. So the cool thing is I don't work like an 8 or 10 hour shift. Most of the days I only work on an average day. I would work maybe 4 or 5, 6 hours a day, and maybe make, I don't know, somewhere between $300 to $600 a night, depending on how much work I get done. And I try to work doing nights and weekends and holidays when nobody else wants to work, because then they'll call me in the middle of the night, and then I get to make all my money when nobody else wants to work. But if you go to my YouTube channel, I have multiple videos about it. We even have an ebook if you're interested, and we can tell you more about it. Or you can hit me up on Instagram, and I can teach you about it if you have questions or you want to know more. It says, do you have to pay tax on eBay sales? Yeah, I believe anything that's over $10,000 on eBay sales, I think eBay sends you a 1099 form at the end of the year. But to
That's
start
correct.
next year, just like we were talking about earlier, how laws and rules change every year. So starting next year in 2022, anybody that makes over $600, they're going to send you a 1099. So as
That's
of right
correct.
now, as long as you fall, I think it's under. Don't quote me on this. I think it's either 8,000 or 10,000. I believe it's 10,000. You could Google it. But anything that's under the $10,000 in sales for the year threshold, I think eBay doesn't send you a 1099 form. You're still supposed to legally claim it, but I mean, it's not. It's less than 10 grand. I mean, it's almost like if you give your pizza delivery guy a $10 tip for delivering a pizza. It's not a huge amount of money, but yeah, as of right now, as long as you stay under that $10,000 a year in sell threshold, I don't think they send you a 1099 form at the end of the year for your sales on eBay. But after next year, you will. But like with eBay, all you're doing is just buying low and selling high. It's pretty simple. I just gave you guys a couple of illustrations of going to yard sales and thrift stores and pawn shops, and even doing retail arbitrage and picking up items for $2 and selling them for $20. When you find items that are new in the shrink wrap that they don't make anymore, and you're picking them up for 50 cents, $1, $2, and then you turn around and selling them for 10, 15, 20, $30. The whole idea is just to find margin, because eBay does charge you a fee to sell on their platform.
Yes, absolutely. So Harry Briggs, I just want to let you know, you definitely have to pay taxes. You would have to figure out, well, no matter what you do, even if you have a yard sale, you technically needs to file your taxes. So definitely seek a CPA in regards to that. But if you want more instructions on how to set up an Excel spreadsheet in regards to taxes, visit Liquidation Motivation. We have instructions there as well. All right. Yeah, you had something else to say, Jeff?
Go ahead. Yeah, I was just going to say that, the government, whatever, any kind of way that you make money, the government wants you to pay taxes on it. It don't matter if you're a taxi driver, you could be a firefighter, police officer, librarian, school teacher, you could be working at the post office. They want to get their cut out of whatever money you make. But, it's like we were saying earlier, the idea is to have multiple different streams of income. Like I said, guys, I have over, 5 different streams. One of my streams of income is just coaching. I have people that will hit me up that live here in Tampa, and they'll say, hey, Jeff, I'm going to pay you $200 for an hour of your time just to sit down and coach with me one-on-one. So I wasn't planning on doing that, but I just have having so many people calling me up and overwhelmingly hitting me up on Instagram saying, hey, can you coach me? Can you train me? Can you teach me stuff? And I'm a busy guy. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm working 6-7 days a week. I'm constantly on the move. They don't pay you $2,700 checks for sitting in a recliner. I'm constantly hustling and working and doing something. So I mean, people will pay you $200 an hour just for an hour out of your time for you to coach them and train them. So it's just about you thinking outside of the box of what are things that you can do. I mean, before I became a courier, I used to work on the weekends delivering pizza. And believe it or not, just working Saturdays and Sundays, you would make $400 in a weekend just delivering pizza on a Saturday, Sunday. But I mean, if it just depends on whatever you want to do. And like I said, if you want to learn more about being a courier, I have videos about it on my YouTube channel, or you could just ask me questions on Instagram. I answer all my emails and Instagram questions. But I mean, there's multiple ways to skin a cat, and the idea is to have multiple different streams of income. I'm actually, like I said, in the future, I'm actually working on starting a second YouTube channel in the future, because it's free. And once you get monetized, you have to think, guys, once you cross this certain threshold and you get monetized, now you have a check coming in every month the rest of your life. You have to think of like that. Just like with eBay, once you start selling stuff on eBay and you start making sales, you have a check coming in every month, every week, every day. You're making sales, and you have this extra check, this extra stream of income coming in every month for the rest of your life. So I am also a licensed real estate agent here in the state of Florida. So I am studying right now to get my broker's license to be a licensed broker in the state of Florida. I'm taking my exam to be a notary. If you guys don't know, I was watching a YouTube video recently, and this guy, he was making $17,000 a month working as a loan signing agent. And he just would go to people's houses and sign loan documents for people and then put a little notary seal on it. And the guy's making 17 grand a month being his own boss, making up his own work schedule. He's not working 8 or 10 hour, 10, 12 hour days. He makes up his own work schedule, work whenever you want to work. You're off whenever you want to be off. And you could do that. I've been studying lately on, selling stuff on Amazon. So once you get that up and going, and once you cross all the thresholds and cross all the procedures, now you have this check, this cash flow coming in every month from Amazon. So it's just looking outside of the box and thinking about what are ways of things that I can do right now to start generating more money, and what can you do to kind of reduce your monthly expenses. So I'm really big on both of those things.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that because Tom is a huge advocate, as you know, of not buying stupid stuff, to buy assets and not liabilities, right? To buy things that's going to make you money. And what you're doing is you're educating yourself in the real estate area, so this way you can buy assets rather than liabilities. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah, I thought my screen was going out of focus, but yeah, guys, it's all about having multiple different streams of income coming in. I mean, I had this guy on my YouTube channel a week ago, and he has 12 different streams of income, and I interviewed him, and he talked about all of his 12 different streams of income he has coming in, and he's going to be retired at the age of 49 years old. He's getting ready to retire and quit his job, and he's got 12 different streams of income coming in every month that pay him every month. He's a published author. He has over 100 books that he had written on Amazon Kindle Publishing. So every month he gets a royalty check every month. I mean, he did the work up front to write a book. And once his book is published and it's out there into the atmosphere, now it's generating sales month after month after month, and he gets a royalty check every month from that. I mean, his YouTube channel was monetized, and I think he makes over $500 a month just from AdSense on YouTube. So all these little wins, all these little bits and pieces of streams of income that he has coming in, pays him every month now for the rest of his life. And like I said, he's 49 years old, getting ready to be retired at 49 years old and live off his dividends of different revenue sources that he has coming in every month. That's great. Just give me 1 second. I got to drink my Gatorade.
All right. Well, I'm going to actually let you go now that we passed the 30-minute mark. Everyone that's watching, please visit Jeff at eBay Addicts, where he goes over on and interviews other resellers and shares their story on their reselling journey. So please visit eBay Addicts whenever you get a chance. And I just wanted to say that this particular episode of Liquidation Motivation, the reason why I asked Jeff to come on is because he's great at networking. And that's what Liquidation Motivation is all about. It's about networking and building this community. And that's the reason why we have Jeff part of this community. By you leaving your comments and sending questions to Tom via email, builds that community. We're sharing information between one another and making sure that we all are successful all at the same time. So please visit liquidationmotivation.net. Now go out there and make some money.
Okay, thanks for having me on.
And today we bought a $50,000 Target Electronics load. Canon EOS Rebel T7. Look at this. GoPro 8, Galaxy S20, Beats Studio 3, Apple AirPods. Look at this. Samsung Galaxy Buds. Apple Watch. Look at that one. Rose gold. Everybody wants rose gold. 6 terabyte. I think it's a Tab A. Power Beats Pro. 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 I don't even know.